I bring you all greetings from the ECOWAS Commission and the President, commissioners, and the staff of the Commission, as well as all of our associated institutions that are dealing with the community issues. Let me express my appreciation for this invitation and publicly show my gratefulness and gratitude to the government and people of Senegal who have hosted us since we've been here. The last, I've been here a day and a half now, and I think with my delegation, we have had a very hospitable welcome. We gather here actually to deal with an issue that has its own set of complexities, an issue that is also very, very important. So here we are with an important issue that is grounded with a lot of complexities. In the comments we've just heard from Abraham, he outlined the challenges. And so, Mr. Administrator, Excellencies, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, what I will try to do in my short 5 minutes is to dwell on what I call the fundamental imperatives of this exercise. And then I will touch on a number of critical factors that underpin the exercise that we have on our hands in these next 2 days. And of course, the tax, because it seems to me beyond the paperwork, that's when the real work begins. And I would like to make a few remarks around that and then conclude my brief remarks. As far as the imperatives are concerned, I see 3 that is actually outside of the literature over the last number of years that UNDP led initiatives on the African futures. Those 3 fundamental issues came up, and I call them the imperatives of any exercise of this type. 1, we should know where we want to go. If we're talking about the future, we're talking about visioning, we should know where we want to go. And when we get there, we should know that we have arrived. I mean, if you know where you want to go, and when you get there, you have no idea of what you were expected there, you wouldn't know that you have arrived. So it means we should have a clear idea of what we want to see when we arrive. That is the second critical imperative. The third one is, how do we get there? Now we know where we want to go. Now we know what we want to see when we get there. But how do we get there? And for me, these sets of imperatives, we will try to see them over these next few days. I'm sure when we hear from my dear brother Alion, he's going to get into that direction. Now, there are some critical factors in dealing with these 3 imperatives that I've just mentioned. For example, some of the factors are internal particularly, and we got 1 or 2 external factors. The internal factors, the population dynamics, the movement of people across the Sahel, the movement of people even beyond the Sahel, people coming outside of the Sahel region. So we're moving within, we're moving beyond, and people are coming into our own region. That whole dynamics of people's movement, the growth, the quality of the people that are involved, that kind of dynamics, in my mind, are very critical factors that we must keep in view as we undertake this great exercise. Then, of course, we concern ourselves with the economics, the growth, and the distribution of that growth, and how that growth, the proceeds of that growth, can reach the people within that region. That is also a very, very critical thing to keep in mind if we want to get to a desirable future. Governance systems, because this pinches around what happened with stability, instability, what happened in policies, in programs, and so forth. societal structures, religious structures, all of these come to play. Peace, security. Peace, security. We now notice in our sub-region, when we make 2 steps forward, we come 3 steps backwards, putting all our resources in trying to put up the bushfires at the detriment of the development agenda. But while we're doing these things, there are certain things practically beyond our own control. Climate change and the effects of climate change. We have to deal with that in our scenarios. The whole question of the global imperatives itself. I remember some years ago, my dear brother here, Abdullah, he tasked me with a very big assignment. What is the future of Africa in the globalized world? You remember that study? Yes. What is the future of Africa in an emerging, competitive, global environment? That was a very good study. We worked together for about some good 8 months or 9 months on that particular exercise. That is very critical if we are going to talk about the future of the Sahel. Then, of course, the tax that we have. This tax, in my mind, is beyond this room. It's beyond the paper that we will be looking at. It's beyond the committees that are set up. It's beyond even the policy pronouncements. And it goes deep into getting started. Once we pronounce certain things, we have to move. So if we come up and we say, this is the Sahel strategy, which have been on the drawing board along with sales, we've been working on this for a very long time now. It's filled with ideas, it's filled with scenarios, it's filled with proposals. But we have to move. We have to get started. And we have to do what needs to be done. Just doing what needs to be done, not just talking, as we are very gifted in Africa, particularly in West Africa, but we have to get going. We have to do what needs to be done. And of course, we have to stay the course. And the reason why I'm emphasizing staying the course, because in the exercise of scenario building, which I know the UNDP also worked a long time ago on the African futures, some many years ago, and the whole idea of trying to get to your vision station, because there were the possibilities of getting there straight from where you started. There's a possibility of not getting there because 2 things happen. You either started on the wrong track, or you went and you got discouraged and you started coming back. Or you went, you got greedy, you got corrupt, you got something, and you start coming backwards. And so staying the course is as critical. So, Honorable Administrator, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in my concluding words, I would like to urge us over these next few days, this day and tomorrow, to take the report very, very deeply in our thoughts and to assist. I think our gathering here is to assist in structuring it, in making it livable, making it operational, so that when we leave from here, it just doesn't end up being a piece of paper on the shelf. So again, my sincere thanks for this invitation. I look forward to gaining even a greater knowledge over these next few days. Every day we learn, and I'm here, and I look forward for that rich experience from this meeting. I, however, pledged our continuous support to the ECOWAS Commission and its institutions, our support and our collaboration to the long-term socio-economic development of our Sahel region. I thank you very much.